Hey, before we get started, I want to say on behalf of Yelta and myself to amplify Black voices and Black Lives Matter.
It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 205. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, Blizzcon has been cancelled. And what does that mean for FanFest? Watch the latest installment of Duty Commenced. New Optional Items and Fantasia Sale. The Maidens Rhapsody returns May 28th. All the Realms a Stage exploring Final Fantasy XIV's incredible virtual theater shows. Rumors of Yoshi P directing Final Fantasy XVI, or maybe not. And we have a contest. But first, let's shoot the shit. What has been going on this week?
Yelta, what's up? How are you?
Good. Doing good. It's getting warm here in Minnesota, but the gaming's still good.
It's indoors. It's an air conditioning.
My air conditioner doesn't work. Send help.
Oh, shit. Well, I live in the great state of Texas. If you don't have air conditioning, you're dead. So we've had ours cranked up since, I think, May 15th. We finally were like, we got to do it. Because it was in the 80s, you know, and it was like, we got to turn the AC on. So, yeah, I feel you on the heat. It was 93 today here. So, gross. Yeah. But apparently, COVID's still happening. So we've been staying indoors anyway. And I'm still working from home, which is a good thing. It's good for my gaming life because I've been playing lots of Animal Crossing still. It's not quite as rampant as it was. I think a lot of people have kind of moved away from Animal Crossing. There's still quite a few people still playing. I've heard complaints from the hardcore Animal Crossing players that there's just a lack of content compared to some of the other previous Animal Crossings, and maybe they'll throw that toward us as time goes by, but for now, my wife and I are still enjoying our little island, still growing flowers, but it's not just as rampant as it was. I think this was the third week that I didn't buy turnips, and this week was not on purpose. I really forgot to buy turnips.
I slept to noon.
I got up way early because I was going out with friends that day, and I was so focused on leaving the house, I completely forgot to get on and do that. But, it's a chore in itself because I buy 30. That's my max. I buy 30 at a time, and I have to make 30 slots and then drop them on the ground and then all that other bull. And it's not as easy as you'd think. I just didn't do it. So I'm still invested, but I'm spending my time spreading it out with some other things. So I talked about on the God, how could we forget? We were on State of the Realm this past week with Mr. Happy and Sly. Thank you both for having us on. I thought that was incredible. I'll get your thoughts, Yelta, but I personally thought it was amazing because we had the opportunity to talk about where we came from, why we play the game, why we do what we do, and plans for our futures. So it got my blood flowing, and I hadn't thought about, our origin story in some time. So it was fun to talk about, our old days, me, you, and Kariri, and the little Gridania house, and how we came up from nowhere to make it to the big time that we're in today. So I thought it was great. What'd you think?
It was so much fun. I enjoy those two immensely, and it was just a joy being on that show. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, remembered a lot of stuff. We forgot to tell our story about what we almost named ourselves.
Oh my gosh, I had it written down too, the Crystal Braves.
Yeah, good. We dodged a bullet on that one. Man, it was like, I owned the domain, and then it was like, the next patch came out, and we're like, nope.
Alpha knows angels. No thanks. So yeah, we had a blast though. Thank you both for having us on. We would love to do it again sometime. We'll have to have you guys on our little podcast. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was good to do stuff with the community, and I just wish there was more news to talk about. I guess we got lucky. There was that little spat of news that we covered. There was like a small interview that Happy covered some points on, and we got to talk a little bit about the news, and we still held some stuff back. We got some news that we could talk about this week because we didn't even talk about it all. a little bit. So that was good. But one thing that I shared on that episode of State of the Realm was that I did beat Thimbleweed Park, the game Yelta got for me a couple weeks back for my birthday. Fun point-and-click adventure by the creators of Maniac Mansion and Secret of Monkey Island. So I urge you to go out and get it. I even bought the soundtrack because it's so amazing. Support them. The game came out 3 years ago. But they are working on a new title. Funny enough, David Fox is one of the programmers for Maniac Mansion and this game, and I didn't even realize that he was liking my tweets about Thimbleweed Park, was like, you should try Dolores, which is the name of one of the characters in Thimbleweed. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And funny enough, they're working on the engine for their next title, whether it's Thimbleweed Park 2 or something else. This is an adaptation of that Scum engine. If you know your old point and click adventure titles, you know what I mean. It's an evolution of that Scum engine. So I'm waiting to see what they come up with next. But instead of waiting for the future, I decided to delve into the past. About a year or so back, I had replayed The Secret of Monkey Island. And it was a blast. It's a great game. If you've never played The Secret of Monkey Island, shame on you. Go play The Secret of Monkey Island. It's a fantastic point-and-click adventure. And you can't die. It's one of those nice point-and-clicks that, it's not like a Sierra game where if you walk too close to the edge of a cliff, you fall down and you have to go back to your save point that you forgot to save in the last hour, and you're so mad at yourself. So it's not that bad, but it's a fun little romp. But I had played Secret of Monkey Island about a year back, and then I immediately jumped into Monkey Island 2, which I had not played ever before in my life. I had beaten Monkey Island as a kid, but I had never played Monkey Island 2. And I started it last year, and I got just a little ways into it, and then I got out of it. And I got back into it. And that is the motherfuckingest hardest adventure game I have played. Probably since King's Quest V. Like, this sucker is insanely hard. I'm stuck. I tweeted about it today. I got a parrot. I got to figure out something about a mirror. And I got this bag of parrot feed that's empty. And I feel like I got to make like a parrot puppet or something so it looks at itself so I can take this mirror. But I don't know if that's what I got to do. And then I got this map piece, but it flew out of my hands down a cliff. And I can't get I don't have a rope or anything to go get it. And I've got... Oh, hell, I was telling you, I got a telescope. I don't even know where to shove this sucker. I don't know what to do with it. I got a fisherman that wants a big fish. I got a dog that I think I got to make smell something to go knock over a trash can so I can go get this fish. I got a key that's hanging on a wall, and I can't figure out how to get the coffin closed long enough so I can go get the key off the wall. I got a shitload of problems in this game, and I don't want any help. Do not help me. I don't want any help.
I know. I'm always like, no, not looking at anything up.
That is the fun of this game. I had a resurgence in my love for adventure games recently, I think because I had been researching and watching a bunch of Twin Peaks shit. And I don't even know how I got into all this Twin Peaks stuff. But over the course of the last 3 to 4 months, maybe it's because of being cooped up in the house for so long, I started watching these YouTube videos about what the meaning of Twin Peaks was. And I watched a 4-hour documentary plus an hour and a half follow-up on what the meaning behind Twin Peaks was. And I'm not going to waste your time with that. What I'm going to say is the mystery is the point. Whenever you have a mystery to something, that is the point that keeps you going. If you tell me that you use the stick and the string to carry the parrot bag to make it fly through the thing, you've stolen the mystery from me. It's not fun anymore. So the struggle in an adventure game is what makes it fun. It is the Jude or Judy. It is the answer. It's the truth to all the Twin Peaks fans out there. It is the truth. But we don't want the truth because the truth means I'm done with the game. And I don't want to be done with the game.
Not ready for that.
So, not ready for that. However, I do still have Indiana Jones, and I have Zach McCracken, and I've got Day of the Tentacle, and all kinds of other adventure games that I need to get on after this one. So maybe a little bit of Jude is okay. But anyway, I'll bask in my ignorance as I play Monkey Island 2. To be quite honest, after I finish Monkey Island 2, I think I'm even going to take it further back, and I'm going to replay the original Maniac Mansion. It's been so long since I've touched Maniac Mansion. I think I'm going to do a full replay of Maniac Mansion and then decide if I want to play Day of the Tentacle after that or something else. I specifically remember as a kid when Day of the Tentacle came out. I think it was... I don't even think GameStop was GameStop yet. I think we still had a Babbage's, which was sold software. I don't know if you recall. There was, I think it was like EB Games, but there was also Babbage's, and it was like the same company that owned both. But we had Babbage's where we were at, and Babbage's not only sold video games, but they had a full wall. One whole side of the store was all computer games. So we used to go in and get our shareware games, and I'd get, Duke Nukem, not 3D, the side-scrolling Duke Nukem, and Commander Keen and that kind of stuff. And I had a copy of Monkey Island from that. But I remember when Day of the Tentacle came out, there were posters and everything of the big purple tentacle. And it was like, wow, why is this such a big deal? I don't get it. I didn't play the games at the time, but now going back, it's like, wow, that was pretty cool how big the marketing for Day of the Tentacle was, because that's when adventure games were at their peak. Everybody, 89, 90, 91, that stuff. Adventure games were huge at the time. So anyway, happy to go back. If you're looking for any Final Fantasy XIV news, you've come to the wrong place for me. Because that's just where I've been, trying to shove, bananas into organs and things. And by organs, I mean the kinds that monkeys turn to make music, not into my own orifices. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I am certain I will be in Eorzea at some time soon. It's just I haven't had any interest to do so. I check my Discord. There's a lot of cool stuff popping off in the Discord. I see you guys playing all the time. So Yelta, I'm going to let you talk about what cool stuff in 14 and anywhere else, but 14, because I haven't been there. What have you been up to?
Oh, I didn't play like any. I don't think I've turned my Switch on all week. I probably should get back into it because I think there's like a wedding event, so I may have to go do that.
There is a wedding event. I hadn't started it
yet. Marriage event. I think there's like daily items, so I should probably get my ass on that. Daily stuff works for me. I know I like Beast Tribe dailies in 14. I like logging in and doing my little incremental stuff, and that usually gets me on long enough to do other stuff. But I think as of last time we recorded, I got my alt through 5.0, fought Hades. I got my alt all the rest of the way through. And she's done now. I haven't done like Eden or any other side quest really. I mean, I got dragged along on like a pony farm, got like all the ponies, except for Nightmare. I've been having a lot of fun. It's part of me is like, why am I bothering? Because it's an alt, but it's like, but I have all 80s and I have, other than like hard stuff, that I'm not good at. Like Savage, I haven't really been, I'm not sure what else to do. I guess I could cap each week and keep gearing up, but I don't know. And then on my alt, I got Botanist and Miner to 80, and all the Crafters to at least 21. I want to get to where I can repair my own gear, because that's bothering me. Cannot repair my own gear. The idea of getting them to 21 is about then is when you can hit the Ishgard crafting hard, and in fact, I usually don't buy stuff off the market boards, like, ever. If I can gather it, I'll go gather it. But some of the crafting supplies from Ishgard are so cheap. I've just been buying stacks of them and just crafting. So that's been going pretty well. I don't know. I joined in. I've been running some stuff with our friend Vi. Her and I've been doing I've been doing my alt, getting on and running her roulettes with her and stuff, and that's been fun, chit-chatting, de-stressing in the Discord. And last night we went ruby farming. It took forever to build a party. We ran it 3 times, and on a farm party, people were dying to shit. That was pissing me off. I'm surprised. Oh my god, I'm so surprised no one just left. I think the first poll I was willing to give the benefit of the doubt because there was some stupid assignments in the positioning. We had 3 melee, 2 healers. Usually when I do it anyway, I don't mind if you put a healer on the left and a healer. I've been on the northwest side and then told to stack with group 2. I can do that, but it just makes so much more sense just to If you're on the eastern side, you're Group 1. You're on the eastern side, you're Group 2. If you're on the western side, Group 1. And then, there are people not rotating for liquefaction, even though we all discussed that. People dying to that first thing he does where it's like, we always say stand in the cleavage and then move left. Two people died every time, at least 2 people died every time we did that. And it was like...
That's insane to me. I've only ran that one time with you guys, one night. Well, you weren't even there that night, I guess, but there was one time that we ran it. That was my first time through. And how ignorant is it that, you stand in that spot and you scooch left. It's just a natural movement.
It's not hard.
I don't get that.
It's not hard. Now, learning it was kind of a pain to know at what point to move, how far to move. Occasionally you get unlucky and, you might have to get hit by one line, but whatever. Everyone can survive on one line, I think. But no, it was just very, very frustrating. And no dragons dropped, so... Oh, wow. Gross. But that's about all I did this week. I did, on my main, I got 100 of the irregular tombstones and bought the neckerchief. They need to make those things puttable in the armoire, though. Or repurchasable, that'd be fine, too. And then I had a Brenna, but not a Kelka minion, so I bought the Kelka minion. Just because I've never seen it drop, so I don't know what I'm going to spend any more Moogle tombstones on, so I'm probably done with that on Yelta. But that was pretty much it. That was pretty much my week. All right, you can come to the website, www.GTFFXIV.com. Let us know what you've been up to. The first round is news. Blizzcon is canceled. That's all I know about it. I know it's canceled. I'm assuming coronavirus cancellation.
There was a tweet. We built these notes last week when we were talking to Happy, and it had came out after we started. Like, we started the podcast with them. That news came out. I quickly jotted that into the notes so we didn't forget to talk about BlizzCon being canceled. But yeah, BlizzCon got the axe. I'm looking it up now, see if there's any other information around it. But really, the reason we're talking about this isn't about BlizzCon so much. Maybe they'll do something video or whatever else and yada, yada, yada. It's about Square Enix. What will they do for FanFest? And we shared our opinions in State of the Realm. I'm of the opinion that they're not going to have it. I just don't personally see how they can whip it up together and feel comfortable even doing that and be that company that is the first this year to really do like a big event like that. Maybe not necessarily the first, but do you want to be that big company that stands out there and puts people at risk? I don't think you're going to see any events until 2021.
Well, and I was telling you earlier tonight, Ruby, the concert my sister and I, my husband and my brother-in-law were very excited to go to in August. I think postponed with no date of when it's going to be, and that's in August, I think it is. So, with FanFest being November, I know there's another month in there, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to happen.
Here's the actual tweet. BlizzCon 2020 canceled. Digital event may happen early 2021. Well, this is a tweet about it. So, yeah, they're looking at putting together a digital event in its place. Our speculation was also that Final Fantasy XIV would do something akin to the 14-hour broadcast. They'd get Buffalo Banzai or whatever his name is up on there. Takashi, what's his name? I don't know. It's the guy that rides bulls for Admo. We talked about him.
Yeah, we've talked about him before.
So they'll get the gang together and they'll they'll sell us plushies and lore books and things of that nature. And hopefully show us, the new jobs and that kind of stuff. So I think we'll get something digital, which is great. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think it's fine. I kind of hope they do that and then postpone till 2022. I would not have a problem with doing that and do just something just over the top when they come back. But we'll see what they do.
For sure. All right, you can now watch the latest installment of Duty Commenced I was at a different data center. I was home that day, and I thought, I'll go and run whatever with them because I've done this fight, but it's a different data center. So you watched it. They did the Extreme, that new Memoria Misera Extreme. Yeah.
They did, and I think they ran that for a little bit and moved into Rival Wings near the end of it, and took some screenshots in between all that. I unfortunately got somebody killed during Memoria. Stood on somebody's spot, but that happens. But they got the clear, obviously, and had a good time. It looked good. I hate to say this, but it's kind of boring to me to watch just a single person stream it. I like Aya. I like her streams. I've watched many of her streams, her fighting game streams, her Persona streams. She does amazing Persona streams because she does the voice acting.
Oh,
she does it. She'll speak in the. Oh yeah, it's great. And she's got the microphone. I want to say filters, but it's not. It's like the voice filters or whatever. So it's like maybe it'll make like a fuzzy sounding effect if she's talking to herself, like a soliloquy. The character, she's reading the character's thoughts. So it's got an echoey sound effect. So she does some really cool shit when she's on her own channel streaming her own stuff. Final Fantasy XIV streams are boring. My wife and I talk about this a lot. We don't watch 14 streams typically unless it's a fight that we don't know, like we're trying to learn something, or it's a really popular streamer that's got like a high view count and they're doing some silly stuff. Like I'll watch Xenos do big fights or something because like he's helping other people, like running some Savage stuff to help people out. And then I'm watching the Savage fights that maybe I haven't done before. And then, I get to giggle a little bit at people who die at stupid stuff and that kind of thing. That can be somewhat entertaining. But for the most part, for me, I think 14 streams are relatively boring. So when you have a single streamer that's just streaming a fight that I've done, and then moving into PvP for a type of PvP that I'm just not really keen on, it just kind of falls flat. That, and they're not doing any giveaways. There's not multiple people that's like you can see everybody, and it loses that charm. And it's not Aya's fault or anyone else's fault. She's a fantastic streamer of her own content on her own channel, I think, and she does well on this. It's just not. For me personally, I just think it's a little flat. So if you want my opinion, Yelta, I don't think you missed a whole lot by not watching
from an entertainment standpoint.
From an entertainment standpoint, I think there's other games that I would want to watch stream.
Well, there's no new news, so it's not like
that's the other thing.
They're not like running stuff and chatting with the community. They're not running stuff, chatting with the community, sharing some news. I don't want to be about giveaways, but it's fun to have a giveaway. It's hard to watch when there's not, any hot scoops or
hot scoops. That's right.
Any other thoughts, or that about it?
Don't burn my house down because I have the opinion that it was boring. That's all I'm asking. It's just my opinion.
It's an opinion. All right. New optional items and a Fantasia sale. If you've been wanting to have a Fantasia, now is the time. They are 30% off, and that's from May 26th to June 30th. So that's pretty nice. Worked out nice for me as a cheap ass. I did that. I'll give away, 4 prizes to people who make me laugh to the screenshot. And somebody requested Fantasias. So I still gave them 3 files though. But there's a Kingly Peacock mount and the Peacock attire. Both of those are on the MOG station. The Kingly Peacock is an account-wide mount. It's $24. And the Peacock attire is a hat, robes, gloves, skirt, shoes for 18 to 1 character. I think both sexes wear it beautifully. And it dyes real nice.
It's hot. I really like both of these.
It's kind of, yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, this peacock mount, it's where it's at. I really like the look of this.
Have you seen it with his feathers
it's pretty
up?
super sexy. I haven't. Looks
well,
super
if you ever
sexy.
log into the game again, I'll show you.
Good. I'd love to see it. This thing is simply gorgeous. I love the outfit too. To me, it's got an Eastern vibe to it. They show it in the East. They're in Yangsha here. So I feel that, but I also I love to hear that it dyes well. Tell me more about that.
The back.
How does it dye?
The back is embroidered peacock, and every color I've tried previewing it, it's just gorgeous. Now I bought it for my alt, and I don't wear it with the gloves. It's just got long sleeves. If you don't wear the gloves, I'm wearing the I think I'm wearing the fingernails you get from the Ananta tribe, dyed Dalmud red with this. I haven't actually dyed it. I might dye it a dark green because my alt's a redhead. But I don't know. It really. Somebody did. I should find it. Somebody did a tweet with, or maybe it was a YouTube video previewing it in all the colors, and he pretty much like flashes through a ton of colors. It looks good, and not just the fancy special, Ishgard restoration or general purpose dyes. It looks really good in a lot of our cheap dyes too. So no, I think it's nice, real nice, and probably some of the pieces might be usable in other looks. So no, I like it. As much as again, cash shop, womp womp, but I just saw Zante posted it finally happened. FanFest is canceled.
We've got hot scoops. This episode has hot scoops. I can't talk about Duty Commence, but we got hot scoops here. Waiting for a link right now. So
it's here.
This
Twitter.
is live.
Here it is. Twitter.
This is live.
Twitter says, Final Fantasy XIV. After much deliberation, we have made the difficult decision to cancel the North American Fan Festival. In a new letter from the producer, Yoshida shares details on the decision and other fan festival and provides updates on patch 5.3. And there's a link. So, wow. I mean, I thought for sure it was going to happen. Yeah, this post just got posted 13 minutes ago.
Seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, seconds.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a post up on the forum. So, let's see. They were moving forward on various arrangements, blah, blah. Despite the cancellation of the San Diego event in November, we've not given up on holding our next fan festival in North America. They're already got plans in motion for they're examining dates, cities, venues in the first half of 2021. Safety guidelines is a requirement. So they're looking into it. And he also has a comment about the development status for patch 5.3. Most of the staff is finished setting up their home workstations, able to access test servers, update data, and implement newly developed content. If you consider our usual pre-pandemic development to be 100%, they're sitting around 85 to 90%. The missing 10% can be attributed to work from home issues. So they have progressed from an almost complete halt in development to near full operation. So towards the end of next week, he's going to do a producer/director check and begin a thorough playthrough of the main scenario and other content. So the QA team, however, was hit pretty hard with this and won't return to full capacity until partway into June. So originally slated for a June 16th release, it's going to be delayed more than a month at the very least. But they're pushing to keep that delay as short as possible, and they're going to give us a new release date soon. And he extends his heartfelt sympathies to everyone affected by the pandemic and wishes anyone who's fallen ill with speedy recovery. Wow. So two things here. I was reading the first half while you were reading the second half, so I could kind of get an idea of like what we're dealing with here. So North American Fan Fest is canceled, but it says here preparations are underway for the fan festivals in Japan, still scheduled for December, and Europe, scheduled for February. As with North America, we intend to carefully monitor the state of the coronavirus pandemic and proceed with events as the situation dictates. So it's not completely like out of the water. It sounds to me like it's almost maybe like they're going to reorder the Fan Fest,
that's being optimistic that there will be a fan fest in Japan in December. December might be that point where they say, okay, you know what, it's done. Personally, I think 2021 has a better sound to it.
December, and even in Japan, you're all packing into a convention center. Still seems soon, but I don't know.
Yeah, but well, I mean, again, like they're looking, and so will we. Right now, it's like they're just moving that first domino to the end, but it could be that all of them are pushed, and we'll see. So right now, we're not doing a full BlizzCon where everything's going to be, digital or something else. They're going to.
You're right. They didn't say they're going to do something else instead, but. We'll see.
No, that just looks to me like they're going to push it. So that's part one. I am happy to hear that 5.3 is still on track and that they're working through the stuff. I mean, it's we knew it was going to be a month to 6 weeks that we were going to have to get pushed for that, and I don't know what we came up with the date, somewhere like mid-July or late July or something like that. But good to know that they're actually going to give us a date at some point here in the near future. But for now, it's at Void, so we'll see what we got.
Yep, things may be slow. The Party Finder was still popping last night, so people aren't completely bored yet. But all right, well, that was some news too. Any more comments on the new optional items and Fantasia Sale?
No, ma'am. Other than stay tuned for our contest.
Mm-hmm. All right, the Maidens Rhapsody returns May 28th. This is one of the Final Fantasy XI crossover events. I did it on my alt this week just because I like to have all the things. Mm-hmm. If you haven't done this seasonal event, I can't remember the first time it ran, but it's running from May 28th till June 22nd. And you pick up the quest in Lominsa, Upper Decks. The rewards are kind of a nice looking set of Amatsu gear. It looks pretty cool. I wish it was dyeable. It's my only wish, but it's pretty cool looking.
It's a nice red. When this came out the first time, I sported this gear quite a bit because I liked the way the red looked. It was. Did this come out pre-Red Mage? I feel like people were using this to make Red Mage outfits or something at one point. Anyway, it's a nice little gift for us to get some of these events back. We talked about this stuff with Happy and Sly on the State of the Realm episode last week. Yeah, we got excitement on this side. Some of the events aren't going to return because some of these events sell their items in the cash shop, like the other 11 event with Shantoto. You're not going to see that because, we're paying for the server upgrades by selling, Shantoto dolls.
Oh, this is the second time it's come back. It first ran on 2015. It ran again in 2017, and then now in 2020. So the event celebrates Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, the final chapter of Final Fantasy XI story.
Pretty cool. I do want to see the Dragon Quest one back. They don't sell that in the cash shop.
No, that'd be cool, and that one's funny. That one's funny. I think that'd be fun to have that one back. All right, then there was a article, I think GameSpot. All the Realms of Stage exploring Final Fantasy XIV's incredible virtual theater shows. Honestly, I hadn't read this one yet, but I knew what they're talking about.
Yeah, and this was a little eye-opening to me. I skimmed through this article. This was eye-opening, though, because, we support A Stage Reborn. They've done some fantastic shows. If you're not familiar with A Stage Reborn, look them up. They are fantastic. And they do these stage shows where you can see plays being performed on their server in their free company house. Beautiful stages. They've done the Final Fantasy IX, I Want to Be Your Canary. They've done Final Fantasy VI's opera scene. So there's some really cool stuff. But they are not the only one. There are other troops. There are other organizations that do this. Stellazio Virtual Theater is described in this article. And they go into just the ins and outs of how these different troops and outfits do their performances and what makes them tick right? So it's a fantastic read. And these people are so frickin' creative. Like, I can't even imagine doing half the stuff that they do. And a lot of the stuff that we got to see with A Stage Reborn in the early days, this was before they'd hit the stages and some of the outfits we had. I think that we watched them do I Want to Be Your Canary, and this might have been, oh Lord, maybe that was the second one they did. But there was one where they didn't even have, like, certain outfits yet for the characters. And then later down the road, outfits were kind of implemented in the game that sort of fit with what A Stage Reborn had done in their previous plays. So when they did these plays again, they had better gear, better stages, better lighting, better props, because Yoshida and company added new stuff to the game, and it was even better. So they overcame odds in just what limitations they had within the game, and now 14 has provided for these special organizations. Now, maybe not on purpose, but in a way, it's
I gotta
like
bet. You gotta bet some of it's gotta be. No, they noticed, right? Do you remember, like, the first time you ever went to, I think it was A Stage Reborn, and, like, one of the character dies, and so they had to actually clip a bed under the stage so he could lay down or whatever, and then the Play Dead emote came out.
That's one in particular. The Play Dead emote did not exist the first time that we watched these performances.
Oh wow, there's a lot more. I'm really only familiar with, like, I've only gone to a couple of A Stage Reborns, and I guess I probably have missed out on some of these other ones.
Well, there's just some really in-depth stuff. Like, I don't... Laban Efforts, a system of choreography and movement analysis pioneered by Hungarian dance artist Rudolf von Laban. Like, I've never heard of this gentleman before or any of these things. I'm not in theater. I'm sure if you've taken theater courses and such, you probably know these things. But you've got people who really know what the hell they're talking about, that run these organizations, that perform in these organizations. They vet. It's not your basement RP, or ERP, what you're into. It's not your bottom of the barrel stuff. This is legit shit. And the 2 or 3 times that I've been to these performances, at least A Stage Reborn, there ain't no, like, boo-boos. I mean, mistakes I'm sure happen, but it's such a way that you watch these performances, they look good, they sound good, they're well acted. You feel welcomed when you come in. It's orderly. It feels like you're going to a stage show, because there's a line of people, and it flows, and I don't know. It feels like you're going out on the town. We dress up. Yep.
Picked out special outfits. Yeah. I think one time I was asked to come sit in a special box.
Yeah. It's some cool stuff, So if you don't get a chance to enjoy any of these things, take a look. And even so, much more so now, like, maybe there's still some limitations with this. I don't know if the Cross World has limitations to joining any of these performances or not. But, back in the day, there also was not Cross World. You had to create an alt on these people's server, whoever it was that you were going to go see. I think we used to create alts, have alts on the Diablo server, and we would see a performance done on Diablos.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't happening on our server. But now, if you're on the data center, unless there's some sort of limitation, you should be able to participate in these things. So the technology is catching up to the creativity, of these troops. So yeah, Stelazio and A Stage Reborn are highlighted here. Check them out. I don't have any really links to either organization, but we'll try to get a link to this article up after we post the podcast on our website. So come to our website and check it out.
They certainly must just take a ton of time to plan and practice, and they're just so enjoyable. It's really, really fun seeing what these groups do. All right, there's a comment on the rumor that Yoshida is the main director of Final Fantasy XVI. Yoshi P says, I'm annoyed by games. I will continue to be in charge of Final Fantasy XIV for more than a few years. Now, what is the story, though, is that it's his team is also, or what is the real story? Because his group or his team or his branch or whatever is involved, I thought, with with 16, or did I misread that somewhere?
So, what I think is been reported is that his department or head, he's, and I don't have the actual title in front of me of what it is, but he's over a division of Square Enix that is over all the MMO titles. And somehow 16 fell underneath that heading. So the thought process was, well, if he's directing 14, he must also be directing 16. And apparently it's come up so often that Yoshida has had to say, not so fast. Mm-hmm. So we're using like a bad Google translation, but this has been kicked around multiple times. And I think it started out of a suspicious leak that originated overseas.
Oh, okay.
This is from 4chan V. I can tell by the pixels. Final Fantasy 16 will be announced at Summer Game Fest, according to information I got from an insider. My uncle works at Nintendo.
That's right.
Very, very close to the marketing department at Square
get you
Enix
banned.
Company. Oh no. He has several important games to announce during Summer Game Fest. 16 is in that. 16 is an action JRPG with strategic elements. Now, part of this might be true. Who knows? Is an action RPG with strategic elements with open-world exploration of the game world and with macro areas of cities and dungeons within the rich open world itself and a free exploration of entire continents. The main director of the project is Naoki Yoshida, and it has a steampunk elements, and it's inspired by Dark Souls and Final Fantasy 15. I don't know if I could handle a Dark Souls Final Fantasy 15.
I didn't like
to be
15
quite
anyways,
honest.
so don't get me started.
I can't play a Dark Souls game. I can't do it.
I've never tried one. It just doesn't look like something I would like. But.
Well, it's not fun unless you like to just dodge roll constantly, and you die in one hit. At least that's my experience. So, not fun for me.
I'm just a big baby.
This is why I'm playing point-and-click adventures from the early 90s. I can't handle Dark Souls. I did beat 15. It was not the best Final Fantasy game. So I hope some of this is wrong, but we know for a fact that Yoshida is not going to be the director because he came out against this. He said, no. Not so fast. This is not me. So the comment is, this is broken, is the main director of, are you going to be the main director of 16? I'm annoyed to say clearly about the information. I'll continue to be in charge of 14 for a few more years. Comment through, except for official announcement. I've seen some better translations from other people, but it really was, the gist was, I'm going to be around 14 for a few more years yet, and I am not the main director of Final Fantasy 16. And he was, it sounds like he was annoyed to be linked to it or to be, expected to drop 14. And maybe it was because they were expecting him to drop 14 to move into 16, and Yoshida is not doing that. So, I don't know what that means for 16 whatsoever. I'm excited for a new Final Fantasy. I mean, bring me 16. I will definitely play it. I've played every other numbered Final Fantasy. I love them all, except for 13. And it'll be fine. I can't wait. I love the exploration of continents. It made me think of 9. You had those 4 major continents, and you get to explore a much different perspective. Your big-headed character running around, Zidane running around a tiny continent map. I'm sure it's going to be much more grandiose than that. But, I guess everybody looks at Yoshida as having the golden touch, right? We resurrected Final Fantasy 14 from 1.0 to 2.0, and he's just the golden child. So there's a mentality, I think, from 14 players in general, that say, if Yoshida ain't on it, it's going to be crap, especially after what 15 was. And I'm not calling 15 crap. I'm just saying 15 is not as good as 14. It's definitely not as good as Shadowbringers.
It wasn't my jam. Play style and story.
If the curve is going down and you think, well, no, I don't want Tabata, I don't want, so-and-so, whatever else, then let's what about Yoshida? So you see Yoshida, you hear Yoshida, and you're like, oh, yeah, give me Yoshida. He's going to fix it. He's going to fix it. That man don't want 16. He's like, I'm busy. I got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, he would technically also be over whatever this 11 thing that got squashed recently, because apparently those photos were real.
Oh, they got a takedown notice, didn't they?
Right, that Nexon had, these images leaked for the mobile Final Fantasy XI game. So, Yoshida is over the online department there, the MMO department. And I guess that's over Dragon Quest X as well. And I guess that would be over, there's some Dragon Quest mobile stuff that's coming out. I don't know if that falls under it or not. So, he may have his hands full right now.
Oh, yeah. I selfishly hope that he stays on 14 for a good long time. I mean, whatever project that gets him would be pretty damn lucky, but yeah, I'll keep my 14 good. Alright, then we have a reminder that's over. Sorry. The Final Fantasy Starter Edition was around. I forgot to delete it. But maybe they'll throw out another one. I know, or have another returner campaign, or,
at the time, I linked this in the notes because I was seeing people who was using this to get golden feathers. They were just creating email accounts and starting new accounts and then getting, using that to get golden feathers and then just keep getting a bunch of golden feathers. So I was going to say, hey, if there was a window, try to rack up some golden feathers in this time, but I don't know. That's over. Yoshida can say, hey, we've got all these subscribers. All these fake email accounts trying to get golden feathers. I don't know. Anyway, but it's over now. I like those things because it brings people in. My wife takes advantage of those sometimes to get in and get caught up on stories. So, yeah. Take advantage when you see them. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably subscribed. But, tell your friends.
All right, and then the Final Fantasy XIV Twitter had a achievement create memories, whether it grants a title, gear, mount, or nothing at all. Share your most cherished achievement in Final Fantasy XIV with us. Huh. I did not. I remember seeing the tweet, but I didn't even think about what
stretching.
That would be. They're looking for content.
Looking for content, so send us your pictures, send us something, get your title or something. Share us your achievements.
I know that
I don't want to see your achievement.
Well, one of my favorite achievements is one I got in before 2.0, so I guess I got the Wandering Shadow title from visiting all the Aetherites everywhere, which if you play 14 now, you're like, big whoop, whatever. But they didn't used to be so easy to get to, and there was smaller Aetherites scattered around in horrible, scary places. You used to have to take people and do sack runs, and I love that I had a lot of, it was really that I had a lot of friends come help me, and we all helped each other go get it. In fact, one friend knew I had one left after it wasn't a free company then, Link Shell. They had all gotten theirs, and I'm still missing, these two. And I managed to sneak around and get one of them myself. And then somebody asked me what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to get this last one. He's like, let me swap on to Paladin, and I'll come out and help you. And he just, kited everything forever so I could run up and get it. Then he was dead. But I got it, man. I got that achievement. It felt really good.
That is exactly what you had to do. You had to have friends. You had to have people kite that shit for you to get around. Some of the stuff, just to get to certain areas, you had to have people kite crabs and dumb shit just to get to a normal-ass area.
Well, most people didn't realize you could walk and not aggro some stuff. That was a secret that a lot of people did not realize. Trees and a lot of stuff was sound, and you could walk, but...
Oh, remember that whole tree thing? Remember, I think that was when...
Farming Koopa nuts for...
The Koopa nut?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And we thought Pagos was bad.
That Pagos was bad. Yeah, they used to, throw high-level mobs in a tunnel, and, a bunch of us would just be like, I want to see what's on the outside of that tunnel. That was the whole plan, was we're getting through that tunnel somehow. All right, then I guess we're at last call. We have a shout-out. I'm going to let you read this, because this is your brainchild.
Well, yeah, we were put on the spot. Yelta, last week we were on State of the Realm, and Mr. Happy says, "What's next for Gather Together?" And, Yelta had been like Mardi Gras float, just throwing shit at the fans, giving out contest win-ins to everybody. And I said, "Oh, we're giving shit away." I just popped off. I was like, "Oh, Happy, we're giving shit away on the next episode." So now I'm obligated to give shit away on this episode. So
we talk about it all the time. We just never think of a contest.
So I immediately thought, I want to see some birds. And the reason I want to see some birds is because the peacock mount came out. So I want to see, show me your peacock, show me your bird. There's the contest. It's called Show Us Your Bird. Give us art. Can be any art. I don't care. I mean, do something decent. Don't just draw like a head on a stick and call it a bird. I want to see it's got to be close to one of the flying creatures in the game, one of the aviary creatures in the game, because we're not accepting dragons. Keep your dragons at home. These are birds. We want art of your favorite bird from Final Fantasy XIV. Birds, no dragons. Win a Phoenix mount. You're going to get a mount. It's account wide. You want this mount.
Peacock mount, though.
Peacock mount. That's what I meant. I wrote Phoenix, but I meant peacock. Peacock mount. It's account wide. You're going to want it. And the contest ends July 1st. You must submit by email. So send us your picture by email. You got to draw it. It's got to be art. You can't take a screenshot. This is not a screenshot contest. You need to draw it, take a picture of it. You need to get an MS Paint. You get on Photoshop. You get on, Coral Draw, whatever you use. Send it to us.
You could take a picture of something physically made too. You could.
If you want to,
it could be like a paper mache bird. ASCII art.
Okay,
make us crazy.
Listen, we're pretty fucking easy over
we're
here.
Very
right? Just
easy.
send us some
this
shit.
Is no secret.
Send us some shit by email. GTFFXIV@gmail.com. Again, that is GTFFXIV@gmail.com. Send it to us. It ends July 1st. So June 30th. Is it 30th? Yeah, there's 30 days in June. June 30th is the last day that you can submit this. Hope you win. One winner.
One winner. There you go.
And it's completely subjective. Yelta and I are just either we're just gonna pick one. I don't know. I don't even know how we're gonna pick it. Maybe we'll just put him in a hat. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. Just send us your bird and we'll figure it the fuck out.
We'll figure it out. We could have a super secret judge again.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It could be your 2-year-old, but.
Oh yeah, I'll just line him up in front of him and just.
Which one do you like, honey?
Like the young Buddha, wave his hand over, and if he picks the correct object, he's the chosen one. So, there we go. The Dalai Lama.
Yeah. All right, then I think that is it. It is closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxiv.com. While there, please leave us a comment, and if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, RUBICONVALE.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yelta Sumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.